Welcome back. I want to bring in three very special guests here today. They are all with CASA of Brown County. I'll have you go around and introduce yourselves if you would.
Sure. I'm Michelle Piarchi-Honer, and I serve as the Executive Director at CASA.
And my name is Nicole Runk, and I'm the Director of Programs.
And John Bushmaker, and I'm the President of the Board of Directors for CASA.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here today. Michelle, we'll start with you. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Why is this important for our community to recognize this month?
You know, it's really a time to pause and recognize that we all play a role in keeping children safe here in Brown County. In Brown County alone, there were almost 4,000 reports of suspected child abuse or neglect in 2025. And across Wisconsin, that number reaches tens of thousands. So there are children right here in our own community. And prevention can start with connection, awareness, and people who are willing to really show up for children and families in our community. And CASA is one way to do that.
It sure is. And CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. Michelle, describe exactly what your organization does.
Sure. So CASA serves children anywhere from 0 to the age of 18 who are under court order protection due to abuse or neglect. We make sure that they have one consistent caring adult by their side during what's often one of the most uncertain times of their lives.
It's important work that you're doing. And of course, to be able to do this work, you have to have the support of volunteers. Nicole, you work with these volunteers. What exactly do the volunteers do in their role, and how does it connect to the court system?
It's really pretty simple. They just visit the child typically once a week at their home. So wherever they're placed, it may be with a foster family, might be with a relative, or even at home with a parent. And it's simply getting to know them. It's playing games, hide and seek. It's tossing the football, activities. If a child likes to draw, it's drawing. So very simple to meet them where they're at.
And then how does that connect to the court system exactly? So they're meeting with the children.
Yep.
So walk us through that, if you would.
Yeah. So after when they meet with the child, they put those weekly visits into a court report. So it's a monthly court report. It's a one-pager that just really captures that child and where they're at. So with Michelle saying, 0 to 18, is it talking with that family member with the 0 to 3-year-old, talking about milestones? Are they hitting milestones? It's, are they behind in school with those school-aged kids? If it's working with a teenager, do they feel safe at their placement? What do they want? Do they want sibling visits? It's really assessing their needs, and just for safety too, to really capture. But the judge appreciates really bringing them to life. To who is this child that I'm making a decision about?
I'm going to pull up some video here of some of these volunteers. This is their swearing in ceremony. When we look at these volunteers, what kind of commitment, time or otherwise, do these volunteers need to make?
Yeah. So we say that the upfront, it's not a typical volunteer commitment. So, upfront, it's about 30 hours of volunteer training. We have switched it to a flex training, that it's online and in-person sessions. But really after that, it's just simply that hour a week. So we often say, 4 to 6 hours a month with writing that court report, those visits, and any kind of continuing education that they would need. But we ask for a year commitment. We understand life happens. So we work through that with the volunteers, but it's usually just that hour a week after that initial training.
And you really support these volunteers through their time of service, don't you?
Yes. And no volunteers out there alone. We have advocate supervisors, program team that are paired with each volunteer, that they're never alone out there. If they have a concern, if there's a good story out there, they got their first hug. We want to hear that too. So they never stand there alone. We provide guidance, connection. If there's, concerns that are going on, we're talking to the department and really advocating for those children.
Those volunteers that you work with, what type of feedback do they give you? I'm assuming this really fills their cup. It's important work.
Oftentimes volunteers, they say, I want to give to a child and I really want to make a difference in their life. but oftentimes that child makes a difference in their life. So it goes both ways. And, it can be a life-changing experience for both the child and for the volunteer.
Absolutely. John, you've worked in child protection and you've seen firsthand the importance of CASA.
Yeah, I was in child protection both as a worker and a supervisor in Milwaukee, then in Brown County prior to my current position. And there's so many professionals involved in a child's life. Where this is really important is that could be a very traumatic incident that happened or some things over time. So to have one person that could be consistent in a youth's life or a child's life is just vital to their success and also to everything that's going on in their life. So yes, it's extremely important.
Mm-hmm. And what type of feedback have you heard from the kids?
Oh, it's all of it's really good feedback because it's one, it's the consistent adult. And we just had a recent event at Lambeau Field where someone that had someone that had a CASA volunteer, when they were a youth, they continue that as an adult and they share the stories and how much they meant in their lives.
And Michelle, what does that consistency mean for the child, if you would add to what John had mentioned?
Yeah, it's really just showing up for that child week after week, having one consistent adult. These kids, oftentimes their placement might change. So they may be with a guardian for a while. They may be in a foster home. They may have to change schools. They may have, they have a social worker. So they have a lot of people involved in their lives. And oftentimes that CASA is the one person that they get to see weekly that really stays with them through the whole time.
And I know we touched briefly on the need, but John, could you really paint us a real picture of what that need looks like, how many children CASA serves?
Yeah, Michelle mentioned this earlier, about 4,000 calls come into Brown County child protection. About 1,000 plus get screened in. And right now, CASA is serving 326 youth in our community. That means 326 youth who have been through these things have a consistent volunteer in their life. And there's still a need for more. We do need more volunteers as we continue to get, cases from Brown County to support our youth in our community.
Up next, our conversation with leaders with CASA of Brown County continues. You'll hear how you can become a volunteer, and we'll explore the many other opportunities available to support their mission when Off the Desk returns. Welcome back. Before the break, we heard from CASA of Brown County leaders about how their dedicated volunteers advocate for abused and neglected children in the court system and help them find safe, permanent homes. Now our conversation continues with some other opportunities you can take part in to be part of the change.
We are only here because of the community. So CASA does not receive a federal, state funding in any way. There are some local grants that we go after, but ultimately it is our community that steps up and ensures that we can continue to do the work that we need to do.
So can people donate monetarily? Can obviously volunteering to work with these kids? What are some other ways that people can get involved if they really want to support your mission?
Sure. Serving on our committee, volunteering, as you just mentioned, attending some of our events. We just had our annual fundraiser, our CASA Presents. We have our golf outing coming up in August. Excited about that. That's a way to support us. But also even just following us on social media, sharing and spreading our mission, inviting others to learn about us. This may not be a volunteer opportunity for you, but chances are you might know someone else that would be a great fit. So getting to know us a little bit that way. We have some upcoming information sessions, some virtual sessions. So it's not a lot of pressure. You can just hop on for a half an hour and get to learn a little bit more about us.
Sure. And John, I know you're featured in this video. Golfing. This looks like a really fun event.
Oh, it's tons of fun. And what's more fun than, helping out the youth in their community as well, and golfing. And we've historically had great weather, great friends, and a great time. So please do check it out. I know all the information is online.
So we've touched on a lot of pieces here with CASA. Is there anything else that maybe we didn't touch on that you'd like to share?
I think just one consistent, caring adult can truly change the trajectory for a child's life. As Nicole said, it doesn't have to be a big, scary commitment. It can just be easy as showing up.
And too, I would add, with Michelle saying that there's all these people in these children's life, right? CASA is special as that we just get to focus on that child. We get to know them, and solely for them. There's caseworkers that have to deal with the entire family. So we are there for them. And when they realize that their volunteer is unpaid because everybody else in their life is paid, it's like an aha moment. And it's like, wow, why do you want to spend time with me? So I think that deepens that relationship and understanding.
And John?
No, and I was going to share the exact same thing that what Nicole did.
Mm-hmm.
And also, too, is if you want to learn more, there's information that will be presented just to learn more and get to know and be inspired by what we offer and also what the community has to offer for CASA.
Definitely ways for anyone in our community to get involved in one way or another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much. And Michelle, congratulations to you. I know you are taking over the executive director position of CASA of Brown County. What are your goals moving forward?
Really consistency. The work that we do is so important. And we were able to hear from one of the judges at our event recently about just how much they rely on those reports. So continuing to grow our programs, continuing to spread our mission, to give other people the opportunity to support. I think one thing that we do really need is we really meet kids where they're at. So as they age, our programs grow with them. So we have a Fostering Futures program that provides more support to kids that are getting closer to aging out of the system. And then we have our Transitional Aged Youth program, which also provides support for those who have aged out of the system to help set them up for success in their future.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, John, all for being here today and sharing more about CASA of Brown County and the work that you are doing to support our youth in need in our community.